Hey friends, welcome back. It's Kat here in the garage, aka my office, and I just brought everyone in that I gave a soak in fish fertilizer with, and things are looking great. We're at that stage where I need to really begin fertilizing the seedlings here, and I also did some potting up. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at everybody and see what the status is. Here's cabbage. So the first true leaf is pretty much here for all of them. We're getting second leaves. Um, I'm hoping that they'll be good in a few more weeks and I'll just pot them, or not pot them, good in a few more weeks, and then I'll just plant them straight out into the garden. Maybe later than I did last year. Last year I had planted my cabbage because I had started it sooner, or I had germination success sooner, I should say. And I planted them April 1st, April 2nd, which is, I think, 2 weekends from now. So 2 weeks. And I just don't know. I don't think they're going to be ready by then. Peppers are looking good. And then here's more peppers and then a mix of dahlias. These dahlias are doing great. That one's lovely too. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for the dahlias this year. I think it's awesome. I started dahlias from seed 2 years ago. And the ones that my dad had planted actually come back every year, but he has really sandy soil in where my dad lives, so it's not as clay and compacted. He planted them in his front flower beds, which again are more sandy. Um, so that might be the key to success there, is a drier, looser soil, because you're not supposed to be able to overwinter dahlias in zone 7, but they came back, the ones I had started from seed anyway. So maybe there's something there with the ones started from seed. So maybe we can experiment with that this year, but I'm just excited to have some. I have about 10 to 12 dahlias that we're going to plant out in the garden, so that'll be fun. Hostas, look at that guy. He's a beast and so pretty. I haven't fertilized any of these guys yet. These are just hanging out, doing their thing. So these two hostas are the same. This is also a hosta, and this is a hosta. But yeah, they're looking okay. I do have some columbine popping up, looking lovely. Some astilbe also looking okay. Back here, I have the lettuce that I separated out, so I'll have 12 lettuce that I can plant. I got my sweet peas back here. Let's zoom in on those. Sweet peas, looking lovely. Hollyhocks that I need to separate. The last of the anemone I have yet to plant out. My kale. For the sweet peas, I really do need to get those planted out sooner than later. I'm going to start hardening these off. They're really big now. With sweet peas, you can top them, so you can pinch the tops and they'll branch. So I might do that with those. It's only going to be a few more weeks though, probably 4 to 5 more weeks until our last frost. So I think by the time they get hardened off and pinched, they'll be ready to plant out. These sweet peas that I planted right by the trellis did not germinate on their own, so that's why I brought them in here and tried to germinate them in here. But I'm excited to have just a burst of color on the little trellis that I have outside. I think it'll be lovely. I'm going to try to plant maybe 4 or 6 on each side, and I definitely have more than that germinated, so I might be able to tuck them into other parts of the garden as well. We also did a little more potting up today. This is yarrow that I had separated out. I got 36 yarrow. Sorry, 36 plus 6 is 42, so I have another 6-pack yarrow here. And then I did the snapdragons. Look how pretty. They're so lovely. This is the rocket mix of snapdragons. And then I have statice. I got just over 12. I think I had about 16, but I chose the largest ones to pot up with the statice. And then I tucked some into the garden just to see how they would do, because I had nothing to lose. Otherwise, I was just going to throw them out. There's actually a ton of yarrow that germinated. Like I had pretty much 100% germination. There were 100 seeds. So this is only a fraction. This is 42% of the actual yarrow that was sown. And I think what I'm going to do is I left it outside because it was already kind of hardened off and adjusted to the sun. So I left the rest of what I couldn't separate outside. So I might save these for friends and then separate what else is out there and just pop them in places around the garden to see if they take. It should be a perennial that comes back every year, which again is kind of why I got it. So and I don't want to waste it because all the seeds germinated and I don't want to waste it. It just feels like such a waste. So I gotta do something with it. You'll see that I also still have my leaf green stalk sitting here waiting ever so patiently for me. I'm supposed to be um, taking apart the originals that I have and combining them with the leaf and splitting that out. So since I banged out all this stuff today, hopefully I'll get to that tomorrow. Yeah, so tomorrow, like I was saying, we've got to do the green stalks, which I think in and of itself is an entire project, honestly. Um, Slacking on separating out the tomatoes, and I gave my friends a hard time about it too. So I feel like a total jerk because I was like, "Pick your tomatoes. I'm not saving any." And then I stalled because people hadn't gotten in their tomato order yet, and I knew there was a few people who get tomatoes from me every year that I don't think saw my like Facebook post. So I reached out to them to see what they wanted. I wanted to plant my potatoes today because it was St. Patty's Day, but again, just not enough time to do things. Yeah, so I have to separate out the tomatoes. I have to do the green stalk, and we've got to plant this monstrosity. My little tiny little potatoes that I had saved in with my onions are also sprouting. So tons of potatoes sprouting. Tons to do. But that was just a quick update of what I managed to get done today, where my seedlings are at, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.